Hello guys, welcome again. So new live stream for Bitcoin. So let's talk about Bitcoin now because now I can see again all people are so bullish, right? Looking for massive pump, right? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's see if actually is this assumption actually is correct or not, right? Now Bitcoin is pumping. In 1 day chart is just moving. Actually, it's very weak the move, right? But let's talk about this. So first of all, here we have 1 day chart. As you can see here, we have here for long time, right? Long time, right? Bitcoin was fired a buy signal here around March 5 or 6, around here. And since then, Bitcoin is just pumping very lazy, right? Little by little, right? It's just pumping and it's going to test the MA55 around 90K. That is actually the target I'm looking for right now. I am not in long position right now. Actually, I was in long position last night, where actually I was here in 4-hour chart. I opened a long position here, and I closed my position around here, around $85,000, around here. And the reason is because, well, it was weekend, right? It was weekend, and I was looking for a pullback, maybe enter again. But in this time, well, as you can see here, Bitcoin just is pumping again. Now, right now, Bitcoin is testing resistance. This time, I will not open. I opened on a short actually around $86,000, and I got to stop it very fast. So I will not open shorts here because there is a very high probability Bitcoin we will see actually a breakout. The breakout is gonna be to the upside, of course. And 1 second, let me just check here. Okay. So as you can see here, Bitcoin is testing the resistance here, but this time I'm expecting a breakout where the target should be the MA55 here, around 90K. 90K in the long term, right, is a very, very strong resistance, as you can see here, around here between 92 and 90K. So you know what I'm going to say, right? Is here, MA55 here, sideways, and to keep falling. Now, Bitcoin is looking much better than before. Why? Because if we go to to the chart, we have here a buy signal into the chart fired this weekend. Actually, we got the confirmation a few days ago, and also through the chart fired out again by a buy signal here. And as you can see here, is testing the MA55. Actually, this is very good. If we see Bitcoin closing in 3 days, I mean this week, above 890K, an extension all the way up to 95, 96. Okay, and finally we have 5-day by chart. As you can see here, Bitcoin is holding the MA55, same as July in 2024, and also the volume is not your friend, as you can see here. Actually, it's not very good, the volume. That's why in my case, I am looking for, yes, we are going to see a bounce. People will be bullish, and all of you guys, oh yeah, to the moon, right? Yes, no. The point here is like, if we follow the macro technical analysis, right, is we can just, let me just fix this here. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so if we go here, we use elevate theory, right, since 2022, way number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and well, this is just the beginning, right? The beginning, because I know many of you, oh my God, yes, to the moon from here right now. Is A and B and C. Yeah, this is the technical analysis, right? In, of course, weekly chart, a monthly chart. So I'm not gonna change this technical analysis just because I saw 2-3 candles, right? Oh, to the moon. No. Of course, yes, there is a very high probability to see Bitcoin maybe in a couple months around 97, 95K. And even the possibility, right, to see maybe an all-time high, potentially, yes. But if we see this new all-time high here, the bear market is going to be even stronger. Okay, why? Because we will see a stronger better divergence in weekly chart, and well, short at least 2 years. So in a very healthy bull, I want to see a healthy pullback. What I'm trying to say is I don't want to see Bitcoin making new highs here. I mean, so maybe maximum 95, 96. And from there, just crashing, because this is going to be a very healthy correction in the long term, looking for maybe 200K or 300K in maybe in 4 or 5 years. But if we see Bitcoin making a new all-time high, you can study what happened in 2021, 2022, where Bitcoin actually just was crashing for since 2021, 1 year. 1 year was crashing, right? It was beautiful. This bear market actually was very, very, very good. I really like it. So right now here, in weekly chart, we don't have a buy signal here. Potentially, we will see a buy signal here maybe next month. Potentially, yes. But the problem here is if we compare the buy signal here in 2024 here, 2024 here, and right now, Bitcoin, the volume actually, here it was actually accumulation. This was a very obvious accumulation here. Very obvious accumulation. Bitcoin wasn't sideways here, but we see accumulation here with the green dots, right? This time we are gonna see a buy signal potentially here, maybe next month, but the volume is not in our side. Yeah, it's not our friend. Right now the volume is falling here. The volume is falling. Historically speaking, this is not good. Okay, the best scenario for Bitcoin is to be in sideways, maybe 3-4 months between 90k and maybe 80k. Yeah, I'm playing ping pong maybe 3-4 months. That is the best scenario here for Bitcoin here, same as Bitcoin in April 2024, 1 year, almost 1 year ago. So when Bitcoin was in sideways for a long time. Okay, so that's why, yes, enjoy, you are making profits, you want to go long, perfect, yes, but remember this, we don't have the setup right now to say, oh yeah, new all-time high, the bull market, but the bottom is in. No, I don't think so. Also the monthly, now we have a monthly here. Let me show you. In the monthly, we have a better divergence here. Volume, yeah, is printing the sell signal here in November 2024. And historically speaking, every time when we have the sell signal here, right, we can expect a major crash. Of course, it's monthly, 1 year. You can be bullish right now, maybe this month and next month, yes, because I'm expecting the same thing, right? We are, I mean, in my personal opinion, I don't like this setup. I don't trust this kind of setup when I see choppy curve, right? With a very, I mean, like, because one of members said, we have a bullish divergence right now here, right? I don't see the bullish divergence here. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're exchange, maybe you're using, but I am using Bitstamp. I don't have a bullish divergence here, right? This is not a bullish divergence, right? We have a new low and another low, and here low and low, and this is not a bullish divergence. So for me, it's just a bounce, right? In 1-day chart, right? In 1-day chart, right? Where we will see a pullback. I am not looking for new lows. I think Bitcoin is gonna be between 80k, 75k. That is the area actually in the long term, right? I think Bitcoin is gonna be in sideways here. Sideways, potentially we could see a test to maybe 95, 94 maximum, and that's all. I mean, the party's over. After 94, 95, I will be more than happy to open shorts. Yeah, maybe the next potential swing short, because I missed the short around $107,000. Maybe that is going to be my second chance to open with my main account a beautiful short from here. Now let's continue with 4-hour chart, because maybe you want to try right now. The trade was this weekend. The problem with the weekends, I don't trade weekends, and when I see signals like this, usually they are fake. For example, here we have a buy signal here, here, and it was just sideways, and it was fake because actually Bitcoin actually dropped here. It was dropping here, and right now here, when I open a long position here, I said, oh, you know what? It's weekend. Usually, right? Usually, Bitcoin actually, if it's pumping weekend, it's gonna have a pullback. This time was different, right? I mean, it's not always the same, but that's why I decided just to cancel my long position here. I was in long position. If we got this signal here in weekdays, for example, Monday, Tuesday, of course, I will be more than happy to just hold my position all the week. And right now I will be in profit, right? Now think about this. We have volatility here right now. Yeah, as I said before in my Discord, I said, I'm expecting a move, actually interesting move, because volatility is very low in 4-hour chart and very low in 12-hour chart. If you see 12-hour chart, let me show you here. Volatility is super low here in 12-hour chart. Every time when we see volatility very low is a time when we want to enter. Remember, that is the rule. If we want to enter, if we're looking for quality, right? Not quantity. Quality, always we want to find when we want to see when the volatility is very low, right? You can trade all the signals here. right? Many you want. But if you're looking for quality, volatility is your best friend, because here, every time when we see the volatility very low, usually, not all the time, like around 90%, right? You can expect a very interesting move, okay? So that's why right now here in 12-hour chart, honestly, as I said before, I regret right now because I closed my position this weekend because I was looking for actually this expansion phase. Now, as you can see here, we don't have a better variance in 12-hour chart with volatility expanding here. I am looking for around maybe 90K. Even if I say 90K, entering here right now is terrible decision because it's resistance, right? Bitcoin is right now testing resistance here. This is resistance, right? Potential breakout, yes, where the obvious target is around 90K, around there, okay? So in my case, if I'm gonna open longs right now, no, thank you. No, this is not for me. I already missed it. I already missed the position. No, thank you. Last week, sorry, I got sick. Actually, it was very bad. I mean, terrible. That's why I couldn't be online. I couldn't speak. In Japan, it was snowing last week. Crazy. My crazy. But well, the point here is like, now Bitcoin, as you can see here, I'm expecting, yes, 90K, and I will be more than happy to maybe open short position around this area, if only if I see the 1-day chart just sideways here, lazy, right? Just wasting time around here, okay? Because this setup, usually when I see this kind of setup, in the last moment, in the last second, Bitcoin is, or any asset is pumping, right? Because the buy signal. But the problem with this kind of signals is they are very weak. Yeah. And remember this, even if volume actually is telling me is trending to the upside, it's still below zero line in 1-day chart. It's still below zero line here. As long as it's below zero line, all the moves you see from this area below zero line, they should be considered as maybe a bounce, just a bounce. Now, there are some exceptions, right? I got the feedback, actually, thank you. One of you guys asked me to create bands for this one as well, like same as curve, because you are correct about something. There are some exceptions. When, historically speaking, when you see the bands or the curve, in this case, the curve here of volume, testing the previous, historically, the lows, right? Like historically speaking, for example, here in 2023, in 2024, and 2021, and 2022, right? And there are some couple of them in 2023 as well. If you study what happened there, let's go there. For example, here, we have, when we have here the volume in this area, right? We saw this crash, of course, but after that, we got a bullet divergence, another a major bounce. So this one was around 25% bounce. And here, Bitcoin here in this area, tested this area, right? And after that, it was in sideways here with bullish divergence. And after that, massive bounce, you see? But the equation here, the formula here is like, you have the volume here in the extremes, right? It could be in the top or the bottom. Plus, you have a buy signal, or even better, a bullish divergence. You see? Right now, we don't have that setup right now. As you can see here, Bitcoin is just lazy here, just wasting time here. And for me, it's a very good short opportunity, but not now, not yet. Actually, I think Bitcoin is going to hit around 90K around here, around this area. And of course, I am not rushing, right? I am not rushing. I am just waiting. And I will just wait for Bitcoin to test this area. And I want to see actually some sideways. And after that, of course, if I see a sell signal here, right? A sell signal here, I will be more than happy to open a short position, looking for at least 80K. And if I am very lucky, around maybe 75K. You can say, oh, well, new lows. Well, actually, no, because something I want to see in a healthy pullback, I am still waiting for this test. I want to see Bitcoin testing the MA55. As you can see here, Bitcoin didn't test the MA55, right? So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like this, right? And after that, finally a major crash here, testing the MA55, and potentially here another bounce, right? Another buy opportunity. So that's why you will see the market right now green. And you will see again Twitter, right? All the YouTubers, oh my God, Bitcoin is pumping. The bottom is already in, blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing, right? Always the same thing, right? Always I'm watching the same thing. Now Solana is pumping 4%. Oh my God, to the moon, right? 4%, really. Yeah. So 2%, 3%, whatever, right? The thing here is like, it depends, right? Your time frame. Maybe for you it's very good because, well, as a trader, maybe in short term we can make profits. But as investor, I am not interested in just on 4%. I want to make 200%, 300%, right? As investor, right? So the question is, should I buy right now Bitcoin at 75? In my humble opinion, I am not financial advisor, but no, actually no, it doesn't make sense for me. I want to see Bitcoin crashing around 70%. And after that, I will be more than happy to buy a lot if as much as I can, right? See here, like for example, it's after 75%, 70% crash, and I see all the altcoins really, 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 I mean, like almost zero. Yes, of course, I will be more than happy to do that. But right now, yes, I'm expecting a bounce, as you can see here, right? 3-day chart, buy signal here, potential breakout very soon, maybe potentially today. To the chart, a buy signal here, looking for the test of M55 around 90K again. And to 1-day chart, same area around 90K. So 90K, 92 around there, that is the area of resistance. If Bitcoin breaks that level, of course, the strongest resistance is gonna be here. And honestly, I think Bitcoin is gonna spend a lot of time trying to break $98,000, $97,000 around there. Yeah. Now there is a probability, of course. It's very low, in my humble opinion, right? It's very low, but there is a probability we could see something like this, something like we saw in 2021, right? Here, a new high here. The problem with this assumption here is we don't have the setup for that right now. Even if we have a buy signal here in weekly chart, remember, we have a bi-weekly better divergence as well. Sell signal printed here, and also we have a bi-monthly better divergence forming right now. Okay? So please try to control your emotions. Try to control your, step back and think about this, right? Because it's very hard, right? It's very hard for people when they see market green, they don't want to miss it out, right? They want to always buy and all in. Yes, as I said before, as a trader, yes, a good time. We can go long. Yes, we can. I'm gonna wait for. In my case, I am waiting for this area to be tested around here, 90K, 92. And in my case, right, I'm going to just wait for the sell signal here in 1-day chart, and I will be more than happy to short. Yeah, that's all. Right now, the long position was here. The last long position was here around 84,500, 84,500, 600 on there. And right now, Bitcoin is at almost $87,000. Okay. So the next opportunity for me is coming when I see Bitcoin around 190K, 92, around there. Okay. Now, remember, let's talk about the USD dominance because I want to see something very interesting here. As you can, yes, 1-day chart, as you can see here, this is bullish, my friend. This is bull. That's the point. That's my problem. Even with the potential buy signal in weekly chart, like it's gonna take 1 month, Bitcoin easily could just crash and test 75K, right? I mean, the possibility is there. Let me show you here. This chart is like this. This is like this. This is like this. Why? The trend is your friend, right? And USD dominance is doing very well, very, very well. As you can see here, we will see a buy signal here, right? And MA55 to what? To keep bound, to keep like pumping, right? So it's the same principle. Now we inverse, right? This principle to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is about to test MA55 to keep falling, you see? So this is bullish. Now let me show you here the weekly chart. Weekly chart here is very interesting. Yes, actually, eventually we will see a sell signal here. Now the question is, if now the MA55 here is around 5%. Let me check in 1-day chart, 5%. Yeah, almost. I mean, 5% for USD dominance is extremely important, right? It's extremely important. We have to see a bounce from here in weekly chart. Why? Because here is the MA55, as you can see here. Now, if USD dominance breaks this area, you will see the next rally. Remember the wave number B, right? This bounce, because of course, if USD dominance breaks this area, you will see another test to this area around 4.5. So, but don't get me wrong, this is accumulation. In the long term, what is doing this thing is in accumulation. Why? Because monthly is clear, right? There is no other direction, right? Monthly is like this, okay? So please, I know you're bullish, right? I know you want to see Bitcoin to the moon, right? Cardano to $10, right? Even one guy told me today, like, he's expecting Cardano will hit $10. It's like a feminist, right? Delusional girls, right? Kind of, right? You see, this is like this, right? We have a buy signal here, right? And also not just only 1 month, bi-monthly here, we are gonna see a buy signal for first time in this chart. Of course, I couldn't find another chart with more data, right? But this is actually very bad for Bitcoin, because I didn't realize about this. We are gonna see a bi-monthly buy signal in USD dominance. So if we see this bi-monthly buy signal in the long term, it's not gonna be just 1 year. It's gonna be multiple years. The theory I have right now is just a theory, right? It's not technical analysis. Is in some point we are gonna see a multi-year bear market for Bitcoin. Actually, we need it because there are too many garbage, right? We have a lot of crap there in the market with Solana, with a lot of meme coins, right? So all of the altcoins, they must die, around maybe 90% of them. But well, it's just a theory for now. So I want to see that, but I don't have the evidence to support this theory right now for now. Okay. So as you can see here, now in the monthly here, we have here the close. Pay attention. Now we have 6 days left. This week is extremely important for Bitcoin. Okay, extremely important, because if we see the monthly below 4.90, closing below that level, you will see another test to maybe 4%. And of course, you will see your rally, right, for Bitcoin, 90K, 92, 95 maybe. But don't forget about this. This is accumulation, okay? This is accumulation, okay? And well, another short opportunity or another opportunity to exit, right? To get out, right, from the market, okay? Of course, in the long term, as an investor, right, as a trader, no, it doesn't matter, right? We can trade short, we can go long, whatever. Now let's talk about the 4-hour chart for USD dominance. Let me show you here. We have here the momentum is to the downside, yes, looking for actually, yes, around, 5%. So today, I think we will see that. Potentially, there is a very high probability to see Bitcoin at 90K today. Potentially, there is a very high probability, 90K. And maybe in preparation for another leg down, maybe potentially next week, next month, actually. Okay, so now let's continue with some altcoins. Bitcoin dominance first, and after that altcoins, okay? So in weekly chart, let me show you here, weekly chart, the trend is your friend, and it's still to the upside. I don't see altcoin season, I don't think so. If you see altcoins pumping, is because, it's natural, right? But like altcoins to the moon, I don't think so. I think they will just bounce following Bitcoin, some of them, not all. But like a very strong bounce, I don't think so. You see here, it's still actually the volume is very healthy. Actually here, let me see the monthly. Monthly is good. Actually, it's good. Actually, yes, still looking for 70%. It's the same thing. Okay, now let's continue with Ethereum, because Ethereum was actually, the performance was terrible, right, with Ethereum. Let's see here. Ethereum is actually testing the MA55. Now we saw a bounce here. Pay attention for Ethereum. Ethereum usually in the bull markets or bear markets, actually for maybe 1 or 2 weeks in the past, right? It was a leading asset. It was moving before than Bitcoin, okay? If Ethereum was crashing, sometimes Bitcoin after 1 week it crashed. I don't know why. I don't know the reason. But I noticed that pattern in 2021 and also in 2022. So right now here, Ethereum is testing the MA55, as you can see here. Technically speaking, it's not broken. But if we see the monthly close around 1,900, 1,850, something like that, next month in April, it's going to be like this, okay? If Ethereum cannot close above the MA55, okay? So that's why I know the signals are there. It's getting better. I mean, the market is getting better. Of course, I am expecting a bounce, but it's just a bounce for me. It's not the bottom is in. No, I don't think so. I think the bear market is here, and you will see that. Of course, it's just gonna take a long time, because I'm talking about monthly time frames, right? 1 year. right? All 2026, 2025, and part of 2026. Now, let me show you here. We have a sell signal here. Still, what we have to see for Ethereum is holding this area between 2000, around maybe 6 months, something like that. Because we are talking about monthly, right? Let's talk about the weekly chart. Weekly chart, as you can see here, technically speaking, is in, well, it's actually the MA55 is broken right now. So of course, eventually I'm expecting to see a bounce. The question is if this bounce is going to be very strong enough to break the MA55 and close. But honestly, I don't think so. I think it's going to be something like this. This bounce, right? This bounce, right? And after that, keep falling. Now let's talk about 1-day chart for Ethereum. As you can see here, same as Bitcoin, testing resistance here. Time, I mean, this is more obvious, as you can see, curve is super lazy, right? The momentum is very, very, very bad. So, of course, we could see maybe a test to maybe 2,200, maximum 2,400, but this bounce should be a sell opportunity, at least in my humble opinion, right? So now let's continue with more altcoins. For example, Cardano. Cardano, as you can see here, got rejected, massive rejection from $1. Now is crossing the zero line here. It's gonna take maybe 1 month or two, right? As long as is holding the MA55, I cannot be like super bearish here, but the price action is not very good, man. I mean, honestly, I'm looking for in the long term for 0.40 still looking for 0.40. Let me see here. Yeah, actually, oh my God. This is very interesting because if we see the close like this is a gravestone candle here. This is formation, and we plot potential sell signal here in the monthly. Yeah, around 0.40 cents should be the area in the long term, of course. Let's continue with the link, sorry. Testing the MA55 here, holding the MA55. Let me see here. I think in the following months, we will see sideways and bounce, right? Maybe no shorts, at least not now, until I see key levels tested, especially for Bitcoin. Remember, 90K, first level, second target, 95K, 97 maximum, but they are the pivots, right? I am watching right now to open shorts, looking for a potential pullback. I am not calling new lows. Of course, no, from there, I am not expecting Bitcoin will just crash to zero, no. But at least it's going to be in sideways for a long time. At least between maybe 95 or 90K and 80K. Now let's continue with more. XRP. XRP, as you can see here, we have sell signal still present. This is in sideways here. This is choppy market. This is just choppy, right? Looking for maybe 2.72. And from there, another sell signal here. There is the volume actually is quite healthy here. It's much better than Bitcoin. Okay, now let's continue. Let's continue with more. Let me see the comments. Simon, welcome. I'm sorry I couldn't be online last week because I got sick. It was terrible, but now I'm much better right now. Okay, let's talk about the stock market, because the stock market right now is more interesting than Bitcoin right now. Actually, it's weird, but actually it's very interesting right now. The stock market, I was studying the charts, and it's very interesting, especially with Tesla. Tesla actually is doing something very interesting here right now. Is looking bad, right? But no, actually no. For me, right, this is not bad. This is just a pullback, right? Where we are actually, this is support right now here, right? Technically speaking, Tesla hit 222, but as long as we have a bounce here and we have some sideways here, right? Sideways. Let me see. We have a 1 day buy signal here. 1 day buy signal, yes. We got this signal last week, so I am not expecting like continuation to the downside. I am expecting a bounce here, looking for 328 around there. But as long as Tesla is holding 230, 200 around here, I mean this box here, without making new lows, potentially in a couple months, maybe 3-4 months, we could see a buy signal here. Now, if for some reason Tesla fails, right, and is rejected, the next obvious target should be around here, around this area, around 160, 70, around there. But as you can see here, Now we have a buy signal here looking for a bounce. Actually, this is very obvious. It's gonna bounce. Actually, it's very easy to see that. It's a very short-term accumulation here. Let me see 12-hour chart. Yeah, I think it's gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce in the short term. Very, very short term. Okay, now let's continue with more. Tesla weekly. You are all in. Okay, so makes sense. I mean, for me, yes, I think makes sense as long as, I mean, all in right now here for me actually is not very smart. Honestly, sorry, but for me it's not. Maybe just maybe 20%, 30% around here, and here is when actually I will be more than happy to enter, like be more aggressive here, around 170, 160. That is the area actually I will be more aggressive. We are talking about investing, right? Trading right now, we have the 1-day buy signal here, looking for, as I said before, 320 around there, 18, something like that. Okay, now let's continue with NVIDIA. NVIDIA, what is doing right now, this is the MA55 here, right? Technically speaking, it's a buy opportunity. Yeah. Every time when NVIDIA is testing this area in an upturn, right, is every time, right, is a buy opportunity, right? So I'm expecting a bounce here, looking for a buy signal in weekly chart. Let's talk about Meta. Meta is about to test MA55, is a buy opportunity as well, right? Amazon, let me see. Amazon is an upturn here, testing MA55. I cannot be bearish here. I cannot be bearish here. Looking for a potential bounce here from here. I think the stock market is gonna bounce maybe this month, maybe next month, same as Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean like, yeah, we are gonna enter to the next bull market. Actually, no. I think it's just natural, right, to see a bounce in the markets, right? Because the market is moving in waves, right? It's not just crashing to zero. They are not meme coins, right, or shit coins, right, like in Solana. But the point here is, yes, I mean, maybe we'll have a bounce here. People will be very happy, calling for crazy targets as well. But in my case, right, I will, of course, as a trader, I will open longs, but I will not hold. I will just take profits, and I will be ready to short the market again when the time is there, right? When I see the signals there. Okay. Let's talk about Google here. Google in 1-day chart is getting ready for a bounce as well. 170, 75, something like that. Testing the 55. I think all the market is getting ready for a bounce. Yeah. Netflix is bouncing right now here. AMD buy signals here in weekly chart. Let me see the monthly here. I think the monthly is tested. The MA55 in monthly. Yes. I cannot. This one. Oh my God, my friend. This one is like this. This is like this. This is like this. The trend is your friend until the end, right? And this is like this. There is no outer direction. You see here, here, and here. Actually, I am a financial advisor, right? But I will try to buy AMD here. Actually, yes. I will try to buy it maybe today. Yeah, I really like it. Maybe 1 month or 2. Yeah, I will try to do that. Okay, the SP500 here. The SP500 here, monthly is looking not good, right? We have a better divergence, very strong better divergence, right? But we are lucky about something. The volatility of SP500 is very low, so it could be here for maybe 1 month or 2. So on the stock market, I mean, like small caps, right? They can actually bounce, right, and move, and the SP500 could be there for maybe 1 month or 2. So here we have a better divergence right now here. This is not good, right? This is not good. We have a sell signal here in the extremes, as you can see here. The extremes, every time when we have a sell signals in the extremes, we can study what happened historically speaking, right? We have sideways and pullback, you see? Sideways here, pullback. Here, sideways, pullback, and here again, sideways a little bit and pullback. So we can expect the same thing. Now, but in the long term, right, 3-month chart, for example, or we have a better divergence as well, and also we have 2-month chart better divergence as well. What I'm trying to say here is the SP500 is not going to zero. No. We will see a pullback potentially this year. Yeah, and it's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be a buy opportunity. Now let's talk about the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq here in the monthly is looking like it's gonna test around maybe 440. Let me see the weekly chart. Weekly chart testing the 55 here, getting ready for a potential bounce. Yeah, I think next week, next month is gonna be interesting from all the stock market because we will see sideways here and potential bounce, looking for maybe 550, something like that, 515. Now let's talk about Nike. Nike actually, let me show you here. I set my stop loss, my stop actually, I bought at 73, and the Nike actually, we saw this bounce and I got to stop it. Yeah. But right now here is a 67 dollars, but we have a bullish divergence forming right now. Okay. Now also we have here a monthly, we have here bullish divergence forming right now for Nike. Yeah. It's just about time. So what I'm doing, I am not financial advisor, right? I am not financial advisor, but what I'm doing right now here is here from 67, 69, all this area, and 62, I am buying. In my case, my stop is gonna be below 60. If I see Nike crashing below 60, I will just stop. I will just take my loss here. Why? Because as you can see here, monthly bullish divergence and also weekly chart bullish divergence as well. And not just only that, if we see a 3-month chart, I cannot be bearish here. I know it's not looking good, right? But Nike, the best friend of Bitcoin is MA55 in 1-month chart. The best friend of Nike in 3-month chart has been the MA55, you see? So in 2000, Nike tested here, right? $3, 3.48. And from there, the next test was around 9. And right now we are here, okay? So every 8 years, 10 years, last time when we saw this, it was in 2009. So it was around, oh my God, more than 10 years, right? So the question here is like, if you see it's gonna crash, well, let me tell you something. It's possible, yes, but the probabilities are very low. That's why I'm buying here. I am buying here, right? Actually, I should be more flexible to all the way down to maybe $50 because the real support is around here. Yeah, it could be possible here. Maybe to 60 to 50, maybe. Yeah. But the thing here is like, if you see Nike breaking 50, yeah, it's game over, and you will see maybe a major bear market for Nike. But right now, I am still looking for bull. I cannot short here. I cannot short. I cannot. No, actually, as investor, actually for me, it's a good opportunity. Of course, it's gonna take more time because the volatility is very low, right? You have to wait for some years. But well, what I'm doing right now is actually I took some profits here around 140 from Baba. And actually I'm using my profits from Baba to actually move to Nike, and I'm gonna add more to Baba. Sorry, to Nike. As you can see here, right now we have very strong momentum for weekly chart. The problem with this bounce here, the problem with this, if we just follow the probabilities, right? Well, the bear in the second band is this one, is 96% of probability to see a sell signal. So right now we are here. So there is a very high probability, maybe in a couple months, Baba is gonna fire potentially. It could fire actually a buy, a sell signal here, right? So that's why I decided to take some profits here, not all, right? Because right now here, this is overextended. Just in case I didn't want to close my positions like 100% because monthly is still looking very good. But right now here, I got the first warning, like this is resistance, right? Baba is actually spending more time trying to break this resistance. But in the monthly, if we see, it depends on the close. If I see the close below 126 next week or next month, I will close my position because potentially we could see another test to 110. Okay. But that's why I decided to take some profits because, you know, I want to take profits, right? I don't want to just hope, right? That's why the title of this video is The Last Hope for Bitcoin. The last hope is that buy signal that potentially we will see in weekly chart. It could be, it's the last hope because potentially we could see a new high. Potentially, yeah. But I don't think so. If we see that high, it's gonna be a beautiful short opportunity, and the bear market is gonna be worse. Okay, now let's continue. Let's continue with more. Let me see. I think that's all. That's all for the stock market. Let's talk about the currencies. Currencies here. Currencies. Okay, so it's the same thing. I don't see any change. So let me see Bitcoin here. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, this is looking. I'm just using price action here. This is looking like it's getting ready for a breakout, and it's looking for 90K is actually the area I am looking for right now. 90K is area. Yeah, why not? Actually, yeah. So 90K here, 92. This is the area I am looking for. Now we can use actually volume profile here to check where is the actually resistance, right? Here, for example, we have here this one. From this high to this low, we can check and on the chart. And where is the resistance? As I said before, around 95, 96 is the major resistance. Like Bitcoin is gonna be here. Potentially, this is the second target, and the first target of resistance is this area, as you can see here, 90K here. And why? Is because we have some wicks. If you check just with price action, I mean, because someone asked me how we can actually know what is the resistance, right? Without indicators. Here, the secret is confluence, and you can see some wicks. Here, for example, we have many wicks here in this area, right? Around 92, 90K, around here, yeah. And here we have a lot of confluence around here, 97, 98. You see? So target for shorts in my case, right, is target number 1 is this one. Target number 2 is this one. Here, no thank you. Bitcoin is gonna break out. We will see the breakout actually maybe today or tomorrow. Okay, so just wait for it, and don't enter, please. Don't get in FOMO, right? Please, because you say, oh my God, yes, to the moon. Now, one more thing. I have an announcement about the tournament. I launched with Bluffing exchange next last week. I got the results. Bad news and good news. Bad news is like no one reached the volume required to get the price from Bluffing, but I will actually cover myself from my own budget. I'm gonna cover that the money. I'm not sure all 100%, but the winner actually I'm gonna check today the winner. At least I'm ready to cover 50% of that price. Okay, and the reason is because we have requirements, right? We need to trade with at least minimum volume. And no one in the tournament actually reached that volume of trading, and there is nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but the problem is like you wanted to get the reward from the exchange. We have to trade with actually higher amounts. Okay, but as I said before, I will just cover at least half of the price by myself, right, from my own budget, and I will contact the winner. I will announce the winner actually tonight, I think. Yep, and I will share that price, the award, to him. Okay, guys. I think that's all. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow I will be here. I will be online here. Expecting all the week, right? If I don't get sick, finally it's getting better right now, the weather. So I think everything should be fine. Okay. Thank you guys, and see you in the next live stream tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for watching.